Welcome to Smashing Game Time. We are two brothers that go through gaming's back catalog of yesteryear. I am your host, Nick. As always, I'm joined by my brother, Josh.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh, hello. Hey, Josh. Hey, this is Game of the Year so far for 2025, day two. Day two, that's right. If you're listening today, which is our normal podcast day, Tuesday, and you're like, wait a minute, there was a day one. Where's day one? We did that yesterday. Go back and listen to that. That's in the feed. It's in the feed. It's on YouTube. It's wherever. It's wherever you get us. Go and listen to it. We did 3 categories yesterday. We're only doing 2 today. And they're fun. I think today is a fun category. There's one unfun category, but then the other one's a fun category. So I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Today we are doing Disappointment of the Year so far. And then we're also doing Best Non-Game of the Year so far, which is anything. It could be anything. It could be anything. It could be Josh's new baby.
But it's not.
But it's not. It's not. We're not gushy like that. We don't nominate our kids. Right?
Yet.
Not yet. Not until they can appreciate it. But
Or until the streamer of the year.
I'm not raising my kid to be a streamer. I no. No.
Well, it's
No.
either that or he's a competitive gamer of the year. Come on, it's gotta be one or the other.
It's gonna circle back to where kids are gonna be like, because now kids are like, I want to be a YouTuber. But it's gonna circle back to something even stupider. We thought YouTuber was the stupidest thing, but no, it's gonna be like, no, I just wanna be a coucher. I just want to be a guy who sits on his couch and gets paid for. There's gonna be someone who makes millions just sitting on a couch not doing anything.
So it's either gonna be that or they go back to the Jackass era where they just do stupid shit and it gets performed.
You know what? As long they can do anything like that, as long as they're not doing the paper cuts. The paper cuts from Jackass
Yeah,
1,
that gets me every time.
it hurts because I think Steve-O does it like right here on his lips.
Yep. They do
They do them
in between the toes.
in between the toes, in between the
One
fingers.
did on the goad.
Didn't someone do it like on their eye? No, they didn't do it on the eye. That would have
No,
been
they did it in the chode. They did one in the chode.
someone did it on the chode. Okay. How hey, let's
Yeah.
stop talking about people's chodes and get into this. Real quick, some chores. Smashing Game Time is wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. Just check that out. I'm not gonna say them all. Fuck the algorithm, tell a friend, you know all that shit. Let's get into these categories. What do you say?
Do it. Start from the top.
Start from the top. So first category today is Disappointment of the Year so far. We're only halfway and there's already so many. It's kind of sad.
It's depressing.
Depressing. So the nominees are Blueprints, Gears of War no longer exclusive to Xbox, Layoffs, Polygon, Alan Wake Episode 6, yeah, that one hurt, Annoying Internet Chuds / Assassin's Creed Shadows, Civ 7, GTA 6 Delay, Law Abiding Nintendo, Last of Us Season 2, Tariffs, Looming Xbox Layoffs, The State of Games Media, Switch 2 Release, State of DLCs, Gears Reloaded Beta, Mind's Eye, and then I need to add one actually. Esports gambling. This is new. This is like just a few days old. Just a few days old. It keeps getting worse.
So I love how when you got to layoffs, you ended it with a question. It's like, are you saying there's gonna be more, or are you like, are layoffs bad? And it's like, well, yeah. Well, first off, they're bad. People lost their jobs, you asshole.
No, they're bad. It's just it was more of a you never know when they're coming because there might be more.
I mean, there already is.
Right. So looking at this right away, Josh, explain the state of DLCs because I feel like this is just going to be a general thing that's not really gonna sell me on it.
It's just a general thing. I mean, so I feel like DLCs. I mean, yes, in a sense, they may have been good because it's extra content, or at least extra content from the studios that develop the games. Which, in a sense, yeah, it's nice because if you love something and it has DLC, that means you get to love it more. Uh, Things have changed, especially it feels like this year, the past year. Um, I feel like, did you know, the Lost Crown had a DLC?
No, yeah, it was, yeah.
I didn't even know that until today.
It's
Same thing with
Ubisoft. It's marketing. Nothing gets marketed
no, it's not.
anymore.
It's not marketed, and I'm like, I had no idea this even had a DLC, and pretty cheap DLC. It's $4.99. I was like, oh, really? Like, yeah, I want it. I'm gonna buy it. I just didn't know it existed. Same thing with Final Fantasy 15. They had 2 DLCs I had no idea even existed. Or 16, not 15, 16.
Yeah, marketing's really dumb right now. Just marketing's so split up because the marketing used to be your TV. Like that's how everyone like you'd be watching Comedy Central on a Wednesday night. You'd be watching not Chappelle show. What's you'd be getting ready to watch South Park, and that's how you found out about the new Call of Duty because Activision was like, "Hey, all the people that we know that we want to play Call of Duty are watching South Park." So it was really easy for other companies would be like, well, we want people who watch South Park to be playing Call of Duty. It's really easy for them to pinpoint that and be like, all right, this is where we're targeting.
But see,
With
I
with
think it'd
with
be
with with TV dying, with that piece of ad area dying, it's harder for them to pinpoint where their audience is because then you get on the internet and like Facebook and the other sites kind of took that took place of that and they're like, okay, well, we know the folks that like and I'm gonna keep using Call of Duty because it's just an easy example. Okay, we know that the dudes who follow Joe Rogan are going to that follow the Joe Rogan Experience page are gonna like Call of Duty, so we're gonna target them. And ads for Facebook and other social media sites have changed. Like you look at Twitter. Twitter was a place where marketing was essentially free for those companies. They just had to create a page and not pay an intern to post it for them. And Twitter's a hot fucking mess with Nazis running around. Like it's just ad putting ads out is harder and harder. I mean, now Netflix and other places are starting to get ads, so we'll probably start to see that uptick a little bit, and we'll start to see these companies move towards it. But when you say state of DLC, I think you're saying more the state of how games and their content are being marketed. Because
yeah,
now,
I mean,
because now the other thing you see is, I think the major one is streamers like
yeah.
like you get a streamer and you're like, all right, this is my ad stream. I'm gonna play this DLC for an hour. Go play it. I like it. Because you saw it with Mind's Eye. You saw people playing Mind's Eye and just goofing on it, even though they were being paid to advertise, being paid to like present this game. And
Yeah,
now you're even seeing people be like, oh, I don't really fuck with streamers. Because I mean the Twitch meta right now is it's political, right? Everyone's getting very political on the different streamers. Like, do people even play games on Twitch anymore, Josh?
if they do, I'd be surprised.
They do. I'm being a bit flip, but
Well, no, my favorite thing is they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna play this game today," and then they'll play it for like 5 minutes, and they go on like a tangent, and they're like sitting on their soapbox for an hour. I'm like, dude, I came here to watch you fucking play a game, and you've been on here for an hour talking about how Ironheart is not as good as Iron Man. And I'm like, I could give two shits about either one of those things, dude. I just want to fucking watch you play a game.
dude, I just came here to watch you play Meat Boy. Please stop talking about your politics in the MCU. Please, just stop.
Yeah, I mean, I do think you're right with me. Maybe needing to tweak that state of DLCs, but I still want to keep it as state of DLCs because I knew about the Lost Crown. I knew about Final Fantasy 16. I had no idea about the DLCs. And you would think even with me playing it that PlayStation would be like, "Oh, hey, since you played these, like here's your news, here's updates on them." It didn't even do that. I had no idea it existed.
When you played that, did you have to put in a Ubisoft, like an email for Ubisoft? Because it was through their like when I played it, I was playing it through their
I don't
online
think so.
store. You
I don't
did
think so.
or you didn't?
No.
Because I didn't. My thought would be like if you're doing it. So like these storefronts, like if you're getting an email, why not? Hey, you played this game. By the way, we have like if I had gotten an email about that, I probably would have deleted it, but I would have been like, oh no, now I'm aware of this.
Right.
It's weird because like I used to see us on Twitter when I was on it all the time. Film Twitter would be like, if a movie bombed, they'd be like, well, they didn't really market it. It's like, no, you just it's hilarious because people hate ads. People rightly so hate ads. They're like, I just don't want ads. I want the no ad version, or I don't want to watch commercials. I'm TiVoing this so I can skip the ads. But then they complain when they're like, well, it wasn't really marketed. It's like, no, it was marketed. You're just not watching the marketing. You're not looking for the marketing. It's out there. So it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I get it. I hate commercials too, but can we stop saying that something's not being marketed when we just know that people hate ads? Like if I post something from, like my blog, I post something from if I post something from Hollywood Times or I post something from Hard Drive, the number of people that are like, oh, a self ad, real nice dork. It's like, dude, the internet, Reddit's all ads. Go fuck yourself. But again, if you hate ads, like cool, but you can't also be it's not being marketed because you're the dork that's like, this wasn't Like, I hate ads, but this wasn't marketed.
No, I agree. People are just immediately like, "Oh, no, it wa it" yeah, I think I can only name maybe, like, 2 instances of something not being, marketed or not marketed well,
Anything on Apple
and
TV Plus.
yeah, pretty much. Netflix, I mean, like, unless you have people talking about it, which at that point, they're doing the one rule, which is, word of mouth.
I think we can keep I get what you're saying about DLC. I think we can reword that a little better by the end.
That's yeah.
Uh, the one I've added recently was the Gears Reloaded beta. It happened last weekend, and it was funny. So I'm on the Gears subreddit because I love Gears of War, so I always like to keep up with what's going on with those knuckleheads. And the amount of people that were on there complaining and posting clips about like the shotgun not hitting where it's supposed to, or problems with like the hit boxes. I was just like, man, this feels like playing Gears of War back in 2006. I'm kind of feeling
I
nostalgic for how bad this is.
I almost wanted to do that, oh, fuck, what's his name? The meme, "The first time, huh?"
First, yeah, the guy with the was that Walter Scuggs? It's a
Yeah,
Coen Brothers, the last Coen Brothers movie.
yeah,
First time, huh? And yeah, I was watching it and I was like, yeah, well, this is bad, but like this was Gears of War 1, you guys. This was the game.
and you think this is bad? Wait until they do 2. 2, they just made it to where everybody was running around with shotguns. That what and running and doing the meta, which is getting hugging into cover and dodge rolling everywhere.
The shotgun play was a little better though. Like stuff actually hit
Oh,
when
no, it
you
was
shot.
better.
Stuff the yeah, like I was watching videos and there was one where a guy like you would shoot head on and hit the guy, nothing happens, and then you're getting blown up. And it's just it's like yeah, that feels
That's
good to
Gears of
me.
War.
That was my
Yeah.
home. That was my home. I'm okay with getting rid of it. I just think it's funny that time is a full circle. It's just a full fucking circle. I love it. I love that new people are getting to experience the misery we experienced back in
I mean
2006.
let's be honest, Gears of War Reloaded is just Gears of War Ultimate repasted. That's all it is.
I think yeah, I think there's a little more into it, but I think you're essentially right.
No, I mean, that's basically what it is because all, Ultimate was just a fresh coat of paint onto Gears of War. That's all it
I'll
was.
still play it. I'll still play it.
I'll still play it too. It's Gears
There
of
have,
War.
but I'm not crazy like those people that are like the coalition is worse for Gears than 343 is for Halo. It was like slow down, stop it.
They're still faithful to it, guys. Calm down.
Yeah, yeah, come on, calm down. Be, just play the Gears, play the campaign and get out. You don't have to play Gears One multiplayer. You don't have to do that to
No,
yourself.
you're honestly not missing anything.
I have yeah, just play the single player, be done with it. Mind's Eye, I think we can get rid of. I don't think anyone was like looking at this game being like, this is gonna be the greatest game of all time.
No, it's just at this point it's more of a meme. And I showed you earlier for those who weren't here. I showed Nick the CPR mini game.
The CPR is rough, and it's funny because then you have people coming out like, "Hey, we're being review bombed." It's like, no, you're not being review bombed. No one's out to get you in your bad game. Calm down,
Yeah,
buddy.
no, your game's just bad.
Your game's just bad. Uh, Esports gambling. Again, this is fresh in the news, but just for those who don't know, Riot announced that they were getting into the business with I think Valorant and League. I don't know if it was all their games, but those are the two that I saw in the press release. This is gross. This is gross. The sign of anything failing. This feels weird to say, and there are gonna be people that be like, you're just an asshole, dude. No, gambling is like the telltale sign that something like these sports and esports and everything. It's like very growth focused, very like we have to be in these markets. We have to make money, and it's just gross, dude. It's playing on addiction and getting people hooked on not even the entertaining part of your thing, your sport, your game. It's getting people addicted to the thought of winning money, but the odds are ever stacked against them. And I mean, I look at like right now, look at the WNBA. I think it's the one sports league that has like had some positive growth. I mean, maybe you could maybe make some arguments from the MLB with Otani over in LA. I think that guy's a positive light for a lot of like negatives with that league. But I mean, I think WA is a pin like WNBA is in a time of growth, and a lot of people don't want to admit it, but I mean, it's the rising star power of that class that came with Caitlin Clark, and I mean mainly Caitlin Clark. And I don't know, when growth starts to focus on the gambling side and not like the superstar side, that's when I think you're starting to tread water. I think you're kind of starting to see that with the NBA, with LeBron and Curry starting to get older, that folks are like, like there's not really that superstar that folks look at. Like you look at the Celtics who won last year, and I forget the was that Tatum who's from St. Louis who's on the Celtics that folks kind of like it's kind of a meme like if he's like the next big guy, you know. And now you look at the young fellows from OKC, like you just don't really see you don't really see superstars anymore. And the
No,
tr
I mean,
and the issue is that, like, these institutions don't wanna build superstars anymore because they're they're
expensive.
cutting corners and cutting costs, and then you look at, like, what these athletes and you could say the same for esports. You look at the paths these athletes take to grow. Sorry, my cat's messing with my, wire. And, like, colleges, like, they're not looking to build people up. Kids are transferring year after year, chasing that NIL money. Uh yeah, I'm getting away from the gaming side of it, but, like, just gambling makes everything gross. Just focus on building your superstars, and the growth will come.
So I have two things to say to that. Uh, First off, the WNBA is much more entertaining to watch. I don't know how often or if you even watch it. Way, way more entertaining. Way more.
People play defense. I
It,
know
not
people like to joke on the shots, and, like, there was the Angel Reese, like, missing 5 shots and rebounding all of them. I know people like to joke on that, but there's people actually playing defense in the WNBA.
They play defense and they can take hits.
Yeah.
Second thing, do you know why, in my opinion, and I say this jokingly to some extent, they went straight to like, oh, we have to go to gambling? It's because Gran Turismo failed as a movie.
Wait, what you jumped some
I
gotta
jumped the shark there,
you gotta
yes.
connect the dots here. You're confusing me
So
because that's not even right.
I jokingly say that you have to be able to like be beneficial in the entertainment area. Yes, they have the marketing as far as when you go see them live or when you go see them like via stream. Like, yes, they're huge events, especially when it comes to like CS:GO or Valorant or uh League of Legends. Yes, they're huge. They sell out. But normally, like you look at every other sport out there, they sell out in multiple avenues, whether it's in the stadium, whether it's at events, or even like their movie or show franchises that they end up like selling the rights to, as far
They
as like
they
stories.
just have more touch points. Like
Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
The more touch
NFL has
points.
the
Thank you.
NFL Network, and they have partnerships with ESPN and ABC and all that stuff. NBA, they're not with TNT anymore, but I think they're with NBA. They're I mean,
Uh, yeah.
esports are looking for TV deals. They're looking to, like, for example, F1. We were just talking about that movie off stream. F1 obviously wants to grow, so they put out a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, gambling just across the board is just a gross way for these companies to look for growth.
No, and that's I think it's terrible. I agree. They definitely why go down that avenue, but at the same time, it's like, well, it was gonna happen either way. I hope it's, the benefit of everybody, and obviously, if you have an, issue with addiction, please get help. You shake your head no, but it is bound to happen, Nick. Unfortunately, we live in a sick world.
It's still a disappointment. It's still a big disappointment. It's dumb, and it's just a sign that things aren't like these companies like to like paint like these beautiful
They want
pictures and say things are great. Things are great, and then they get into like the grossest business practices, and you're like, "Well, were
no,
things really that great?"
no, they want the easy way out. They wanna keep making that money, and they wanna put as little effort into it as possible.
Yeah, and the effort should be put into building superstars, and it's not. It's instead being focused on, oh, we need to we we need to make sure gambling is shored up so that we can get our piece of the cheese, eh? We
Well,
got we
Nick,
got
Hideo Kojima is our LeBron. He's getting older. It's only a matter of time, and the only other current stars that are big are all assholes or dying.
I'm not even talking regular game. I'm still trying to figure out how you connected the Gran Turismo movie to this. I think
I just wanted to talk shit about it because I'm like, how did that even become a movie?
it's Sony's licensing all of it, man. They were like, "Hey, you know what? We'll try it." Uh, Blueprints, I think the disappointing thing about it for me is that people before I played it were talking it up like it was the greatest thing they had
Mhm.
ever played. And I was just like, eh.
I've seen better.
I got into it. I was like, oh, I see the appeal. You're trying to get to the door. And then it's just the deeper and deeper it got, I was like, I don't want this big, long 800-hour puzzle game. I just wanted a simple, like 5, 6 hour thing. And you guys have given me, like, I have to write shit. I hate puzzle games where I have to write shit down. Unless, like, there are a few, like, I think Norco, I think I wrote a few things down, but I was just not feeling it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want
Yeah,
to,
the more and more I watched it, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely not my game." I'd get too pissed off.
it's just
I'd
so
write one wrong thing.
it's so boring. It wants to leave you in the dark. And I get that's the appeal to some people, but I'm just like, no, I'm good. Gear's no longer exclusive. I didn't think this was a bummer. I think games should be wherever the players are. And more than ever, it's definitely not on Xbox.
No, and let's be honest, Xbox has kinda slowly turned itself into a PC, like, they're no longer like, yes, we have the Series X, yes, we have the new iterations of the consoles, but it's eventually gonna get to the point where I don't think Xbox is gonna be a console, it's just gonna be a company that owns all these IPs and no employees.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason. I mean, I wrote the pregnant Marcus Phoenix is right behind me, but Gears of War is the new Sonic. Microsoft is the next Sega. They're getting out of it. They're getting out. They're working their way to getting out of the console game. It feels like.
I say if they don't make console games anymore, they're gonna go straight to the, uh, slot
No,
machines.
they'll make games. They'll just stop making consoles. But I'm okay with getting rid of it because I was like, eh. Like when you started when Hi-Fi Rush and everything started leaving, I was like, it's only a matter of time before Gears of War and Forza and everybody else. I've got layoffs, Polygon and Microsoft layoffs that are looming. We can get rid of the two layoffs and just talk Polygon. The Xbox layoffs, I don't think have happened yet. I didn't see anything in the news. They're coming. It sucks. This is like the third time Microsoft's doing layoffs in the last year and a half.
Yep, and this one is now all basically almost all the studios that they've purchased over the past couple of
Yeah,
years.
they're hitting those folks and getting rid of. And I say this uh, not to be a dick, but they're getting rid of redundancies with redundancies that they see. Like, oh, you're the code guy for them. Well, we have a code guy that does all of them. So bye,
Yeah,
get
I
out
think
of
it's
here.
said rumored to be like 200 people.
We'll see. It sucks. Polygon, which is just a mean way of saying, yeah, Polygon is gone. Bought up by what was that, Valnet? Immediately shuttered down to a skeleton crew. I'm sure there's still some
Yep.
great people over there doing some great work, but there's a lot of bloat at the top, not adding a lot to it.
And
That's
we
rough.
that was the same and that's the same day we learned that a lot of the sites we were using, we can't use because it was all the same group.
Yeah, we're trying to get away from using Valnet stories. We wanted to use stories from sites that were actually paying their writers good money. Sorry to those folks. Sorry to those folks who lost their jobs. That sucks. I mean, it's just the state of games media right now, and I mean, we have that again down here, so these could probably be combined. I'll get rid of Polygon just because it kind of covers them all. But yeah, man, like if someone like 15 years ago, if someone was like, "Man, I want to be in games media," you probably could like point them to a path. And now it's more of like, just start writing, start a Substack, which is the bleakest thing to say. Like it's the most it's the it's the best and terrible advice all in the same breath. Cause it's like the real advice should be like, don't do this.
No. Yeah,
Uh,
it just avoids in general.
unless you have a way to grow an audience, because again, it goes back to the sport. It goes back to sports and like the reluctantness to grow an audience. These sites, these big sites where people get the jobs, they cut their teeth writing stories, and that's where they get their following, and then they can go on and do their own things. Well, that pipeline. Sorry, my cat just bit the hell out of my leg.
It's like, what the
He
fuck are you doing?
he must be pro. He must be an executive cat because he just bit me. He was like, I better not hear
Take
anything
it
about.
back.
I better not hear anything about unions. But there's an unwillingness to to grow talent. And so what happens is it bottlenecks off the talent that was there that has some following is going independent, growing there, and like being independent, they want to get as many new voices as they can. The issue is they can't afford it. But then the trend that I see is that the folks at those indies are like, well, if Polygon is hiring, you better not go get those jobs because you're basically You're basically taking the jobs that those other journalists had. You would have never had a chance anyway. And it's just gross. It's like, okay, so wait, you want these people who are trying to build a name for themselves not to go out and like they're going out into this market where there's not really much of a market left to begin with. You can't hire them, but also they can't work at the place that just fired everybody. So basically you're telling them, well, you have to start on your own and try to get a following. And you know how many people actually get a following from starting on their own?
Very little.
Very little. It's close to zero. Yeah, the games media is just tough right now, and I wouldn't wish it on anybody. I would tell them, "Hey, man, go start an auto shop. Go repair cars because we're apparently never getting rid of cars in this country. Go learn, yeah, go learn how to be a mechanic. I don't know. I don't know because I mean,
Honestly, build the games you're writing about because that's probably the closest that you're going to get to it.
because I mean, I consider myself lucky being a part of Hard Drive, but even then, I'm freelance, but I mean, I'm a regular contributor, so I feel lucky enough having that. But I look at people looking for jobs, and I'm like, oof, man, I don't know, dog. I don't know. This is rough. What else we got here? I'm okay with taking tariffs off because we didn't like they affected the pre-orders of
Switch 2.
Switch 2s, but then we really didn't see much else from it.
I think it's probably not really going to affect us probably for the next 6 months. I think 2026 will see more of a repercussion from it.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just the back and forth on we have tariffs, we don't have tariffs, we have tariffs, we don't have tariffs. I did an interview for my day job where I interviewed Jamie Stegmeyer over at Stonemeyer Games about the tariffs because his company was suing. If you don't know, his company did. I don't know if you see it on my camera. He did Scythe. Stonemeyer Games did Scythe. They did Wingspan game that everybody loves.
Mhm.
There are a few others that I can't think of right now, but they were going to be part of a big suit of board game publishers against the Trump administration. And yeah, I think at that point when I had interviewed them, the tariff increase was 140%, which would have just been this asterisk. So they were like pushing to like get a bunch of games like overseas before those took effect. And now like it's been a month and some change since I've interviewed him, and it's just changed so many times. The tariffs are off. The tariffs are on. The tariffs are off. The tariffs are on. Oh, now we have a deal, and I mean, we started to worry about that with the games. I mean, we are starting to get some rumblings about $80 games, but I think that was something that was already in the pipeline.
Oh no, they looked at Sony when they kind of introduced the $70 games. They're like, they're willing to buy $70 games. Let's see if we can push it to 80.
Yeah, I think that it's it's just like when the gas stations are all putting the prices up at the same time. There's really no reason. It's just price gouging. It's them seeing what they can get away with.
And to those who are like, "Oh, guys, back in the day they had $70 games." Yeah, $70 games actually were like worth value though. Where now it's like, dude, I can barely afford, you know, a ticket.
I don't
Like,
know,
and
man. It's
that's
like
you know,
tariffs don't bug. I mean, $70, $80 games don't bug me as much just because I tend to dabble more on the indie side that's a little cheaper. But I will say, like, I think Mario Kart was like one of the first ones that people were like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I'll still defend that one a little bit because it's just Nintendo. It's their one Mario Kart game this generation. They're not going to do another one. Now it's the series that have like when Call of Duty starts doing it and you're getting a Call of Duty every year at $80, that's where I'm like, okay, knock that fucking shit off.
I just wanted to be known that Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Yes, if you can't find a physical copy because scalpers are assholes, but still, $50.
How many
Game of
copies
the
of the
year
game do you have,
contender.
Josh?
I have one copy.
Okay, just making sure you're not scalping over
No,
there.
fuck no, I'm not one of those gross assholes. No, I've got my one copy. I'm happy. I'm content. Once they do a re-release or the reprint, I'll probably buy one just so I have a unopened copy.
Okay.
But beyond that, no. Great game of the year, $50. And honestly, if you would have told me it was an $80 game and I played it, I've been like, really expensive. It's good, really expensive though. But still, a third or a independent developer making cheaper games that are better than quadruple A companies.
Quadruple. I still will back that Mario one. Now I do know that that's a double-edged sword because backing that means everyone else sees Nintendo doing that, and they're like, "Well, Nintendo's doing it, so can we." So I realize in saying that, like, "Hey, it's cool for it's cool. I get why Nintendo did it." I'm also opening the door for like, "Well, now everyone else gets to do it.
Have you
Yay!"
Speaking of which, since we've got the Switch 2 release, let's go ahead and talk about this real quick. Uh, Not so much because of the console. The console obviously was gonna sell.
Right.
My issue was we're talking about a console they knew was gonna sell like crazy. They've been through multiple releases and seen what it comes to, especially with scalpers nowadays, as far as the how to navigate that, and they still failed at it. We still had scalpers everywhere. We still had all these consoles sold out everywhere.
I mean, I'm seeing like this is purely anecdotal, but I've seen Switch 2s out in the wild.
I mean, I have 2, but I'm saying, like, when like, day 1, like, if you went to go get it day 1, they were sold out, and people were who had pre-orders were like, "Well, dude, what the fuck? Where's mine at?" And they're like, "Oh, we sold out. We'll have to get more." And it's like, how
I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
those
I
stories are
get that a lot of them are more towards companies like GameStop or Best Buy, companies that actually have to sell, but, like, you think at this point, in general, for everybody, you think we would figure things out. I get you're there to make the money, but you're gonna piss a lot of people off.
I mean,
Like,
that
just
again, I don't think that's a Nintendo issue. I think that's a GameStop. That's
uh
the retailers not keeping their end. That's the retailers just being retailers and like,
well,
"Oh,
no,
we oops, I
but
sold that guy the last
that's
one."
why I said the release. It's ridiculous that it's like, "Oh, we sold all we sold all." It's like the fucking Pokemon cards when people are like, you've seen the Costco or Sam's Club videos of the people who go to the pallets and just grab like stacks full. It's that. That's what they're doing, and it's like, guys, seriously, you can't have one person stand there and just hand one to a person each time.
It's so bad. Like, do people play like it's kinda crazy. Like, do people play the Pokemon game anymore? Do people play the
What's
Pokemon game anymore? Like
Nick? Even the people who play at tournaments don't play the Pokemon game anymore.
are there cards and sets that just haven't been played because nobody can get their hands on a copy? Like, I think Magic the Gathering's kinda seeing something similar right now with the Final
With
Fantasy
Final
booster,
Fantasy.
and I
But the
was
nice thing is they've admitted that, "Hey, there's gonna be multiple prints of this. We're not gonna be stopping this anytime soon." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna wait for all that to die down, and then I'm gonna start buying them because I wanna collect them. I love Final Fantasy."
I was at a Hot Topic today, don't ask why. I was at a Hot Topic today, and there was one little booster pack of the Final Fantasy. I was like, "Holy shit." Like, seeing this out in the wild is crazy. Like, I didn't think you would see that, but it was a standalone, like, splinter box.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I definitely I wanna get into it, but it's like, it's hard to get into all these card games. Like, I have the Universes, which is the Crunchyroll for all the animes, and I only did it because it's, like, one of the cheaper routes, but I'm like, it's hard to, I wanna play it, but at the same time, I also like collecting. But the fact that people are buying 30, 40 boxes, they'll probably if they don't open half of them, they're only gonna keep it and let it, quit printing just so they can sell it and get double, if not triple, what they spent on 1 box.
I'm adding Pokemon scalpers to the list. And we've got some Pokemon scalpers in the family, but they're not tackling kids. They're buying like a box and just like setting it aside.
Yeah, which, I mean, yeah, it's scalping, but at the same time, they did 1 box and then buy 30. Like, I'm not justifying what they're doing, like, you guys are still assholes.
No,
You know what you're doing.
if it's just one, it's fine. Like if you're buying a bunch and you're like, this is how I'm gonna pay for my retirement. It's like, no, you're fucking not, you dweeb. Wedgie, give me a box.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
holding on to this one. This is how I'm gonna pay for my retirement.
But back to the Switch 2. So, not only did they do that, but they did Nintendo didn't do really a great job with their press releases. Because obviously they weren't, like, giving people, like, a other than, like, at the, what do they call them? Their shows, their, state of plays, what the
I
fuck
mean,
they
this is
call them.
Nintendo's just was gonna give it to the folks where there was gonna be the most eyeballs. And
Right, right.
I'm not gonna sit here and again, I sound like I'm like licking Nintendo's boots. I just don't
You if it
care.
are. Well, no, my problem is they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be the greatest, like, handheld console ever. We're gonna do all this stuff." And now we're starting to see, like, independent, like, study videos of them all, where they're saying, like, for an LCD screen, it is the slowest LCD screen known, like, ever. Like, they've done, like, comparisons of the Switch 2, Steam Deck, the LED edition, not the, OLED, or I'm sorry, LCD, not LED. I'm sorry, LCD.
Well, I just don't think this. I don't think we've hit like a pet. Like I think by the end of the year we'll have a better feel on like the Switch 2 release. I mean, it's still so fresh. Like we're only what 3 weeks removed. It's been 3 or 4 weeks,
Yeah,
right?
just about. Yeah,
So I think we still need a little more time. I mean, I've already heard of like people's Joy Cons drifting, like a
which
few,
is not surprising.
but I think we need a little more time before we can say that the Switch 2 release was like a huge mess. Again, the release stuff is just going to be purely anecdotal across the board.
That's fine.
Uh,
That's fair.
I mean, I as much as I want to hate on Nintendo, like I get the $80 Mario Kart thing. I get the not getting a Switch to everybody because at a certain point that just starts to be a loss for you.
So Nick, how much did they pay you?
300,000 actually.
So I'm assuming you're going to go and remove them from this list because you've licked their boot clean.
And this is where I put on my Nintendo hat. No, like Nintendo does some scummy ass shit, but I just think like everyone's doing this is like people who like shit on Lance Armstrong for cheating in the races. Like no, everyone's cheating. Like he's just
You just
we're
got caught.
we're bitching about him because he was winning, but everyone was cheating.
Well,
Like
since we're still
we should complain about the whole thing and not just like the one guy.
since we're talking about Nintendo, Nick, law-abiding Nintendo.
Oh, they got Sue happy and started shutting down these emulators. That's again, I have no problem with this. I have no like. I think back to the Kotaku story where they're like, "Hey, you can get hey, Metroid Dread just came out. Here's where you can get a pirated copy. Here's where it's being
Okay,
emulated."
okay, I agree when it came to the Switch and Dread. Like, yes, why the fuck are you doing that? That's fucking wrong.
And why are you reporting on it? And then
And why are you reporting on
how are you gonna be
it?
mad that Nintendo's not sending you review copies because you reported on one of their big releases that year being on an emulator the day of release?
But Nick, tell me, how do you feel about games that they no longer make money on? Like, let's just go to Nintendo 64 and down. Any of those, they don't
I
make any more money on that.
I agree with the older stuff, like, if they don't have it out anywhere, and, like, if someone is wanting to emulate it from a pure hobbyist standpoint, not make money from it, like, I'm not over here telling you, "Hey, Josh, I've got all these Nintendo games you can't buy anywhere. You can play them all on your Steam Deck with my little emulator thing that you need. All you gotta give me is $3,000." When it starts to become like the emulator companies being like, "Hey, you gotta pay us," or, "Hey, there's money being exchanging hands," that's when it becomes a problem. When it's just like a hobbyist thing and you're like, "Hey, we're we're building our own version of Mother 3 because Nintendo won't, and we just want everyone to play it." That's different.
Okay, and then how do you feel about them saying you can't mod your own consoles? Meaning, like, you can't make any physical changes or software changes to the consoles that you paid for.
That's also bullshit. I think them breaking Switch 2s that they find modded is just ridiculous. I mean, consumer electronics have been messy, especially when it comes to repair. Like right to repair has been a constant fight. I think there's been some movement on that side, but yeah, man, electronics are weird like that. I'm not crazy about that. I also don't think that's the most disappointing thing of the year, though. I think that's very, very on brand for Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
I'm not saying it's yeah, but
when I heard these things were happening, was I disappointed? Yes. Was I surprised?
no,
Absolutely not. Not at
no.
all.
It's at this point we should be thankful that we even have some of the emulators that we currently do, that they're not, knock on wood, going after them. So we'll take a win where we can,
All
lick
right.
our wounds.
I'm gonna get rid of law abiding Nintendo. Nintendo, you know where to send my checks. You're welcome. You're welcome. What else we
No,
got? Alan Wake episode 6. This is more about us. This is the last main story episode of Alan Wake, and it sucks. It's just bad.
yeah,
Alan Wake used to be an open world game, and I guess episode 6 was like them not wanting to lose every piece of that. So they're like, well, what if we just made this big level that felt like an open world where you're driving constantly, and it's just not fun. And you play it and you're like, well, it's a good thing this whole game was an open world like you guys wanted. And they're like, yeah, we know. And then you look back at them and you're like, but this does suck. And they're like, yeah, we know. And then you play the two DLCs and you're like, this should have been how the main game ended. And they're like, yeah, we know.
guys, we had to keep. We were low on budget. All right.
Hey, Microsoft said this is the cutoff. They said, "Hey, we want you launching against this Red Dead Redemption game. We think we can beat it." No, we can't. It's rough, but I think we can get rid of it. I think there's a more modern disappointments out there than episode 6 of Alan
Yeah.
Wake from 2010.
Yeah.
Annoying internet chuds, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, as soon as I saw that we had a Black Samurai on our hands, I was like, "Oh, the internet is going to lose its fucking mind."
No, they lost it twice because not only was it the Black Samurai, there was a female protagonist.
Oh boy, that's double whammy. Double whammy
Yeah.
for Kotaku in action.
No, it was only a matter like that was a ticking time bomb. It was just bound to happen.
Well, and those guys are still investigating the game. They're like, "Oh, they're not mentioning it in this, or they're not like just how bad things are behind the scenes at Ubisoft." And I mean, to a point, I'm like, "Well, yeah, Ubisoft seems pretty messy. Not as messy as us, but they do seem pretty messy. But you guys are just pulling at strings here, hoping something goes. Like, calm
Don't get me wrong,
down."
as much as I want to see Ubisoft, at least the executives burn at this point, because they've only had one decent release in the past few years. Two, maybe, if I'm pushing it.
I just want to see them get back to like their 2000s like bravado of like, hey, we got these Tom Clancy games that feel like action espionage type games. Hey, we've
Mhm.
got these Far Cry games that are like really deep shooters that let you explore these islands. Hey, do you like the Prince of Persia? He's back fighting more monsters. Yeah.
With swords instead of daggers.
Yeah, he's back again, and we got the new Godsmack song. We know you guys love that.
Yeah.
I think this can go just because I'm tired of hearing about it. And again, the game did way better than any of them thought, and it apparently is also a pretty good game. Civ 7 apparently sucks. I was reading up on this a few days ago.
Bad.
The Civ heads don't like it. It's too scenario based. It's too unbalanced. It doesn't feel like Civ. Uh, I mean, if I had one in here, I'm sure they'd tell us everything that's wrong with it. But it's fun. It's funny when a long running series has a bad one.
I feel like though that's like with every like we talked about this with like Company of Heroes.
Yeah,
Two came out. Oh, one so much better. Two's garbage. Then three came out. Oh, two's so good. Three's garbage.
it's just par for the course. A bunch of guys went back
Yeah.
and played Civ 6 who probably hated it at launch, and now when 8 comes out, there will be a bunch of dudes who are like, "Well, seven's better," and go back to 7. I think it's just the thing that long series have to face where, and we say that about Company Heroes, but it's not that long of a series. But it's the thing where you start to lose people to your older versions where they're like, I'm just gonna stick to this one. And I think that's just part of being an aging series.
Yeah.
You're just
I
not
think it could be removed, honestly, because it's like that with every game, especially long running games. Like it it's either you've been in development for so not just the one game, but the series, you've been in development for all these games for so long that eventually people are comfortable with where the last one was, or you removed a feature that they just absolutely loved and won't shut up about.
and
Or
I think I think that might be I think it'll be interesting about GTA 6 because a lot of people spent a lot of time in GTA Online for the last 10 years. So it'll be interesting to see if a
Mhm.
lot of people stick back on that and don't even mess with 6. It'll be and I bring up GTA 6 because the last one of the last ones we have here is the GTA 6 delay. I wasn't really disappointed by this because I knew it was
I was
coming.
expecting it. Yeah, so at this point, like it was bound to happen. Rockstar, like, let's be honest. What does Rockstar make nowadays besides Grand Theft Auto?
GTA Online, I'm sure they have like secret smaller groups working on Red Dead 3 and
Yeah,
whatever they might be publishing a few things. I don't know.
and
Uh
even then, like it's like I expected this because one, they had all those leaks come out, so they're gonna maybe make some changes, so it's not like obvious. And two, I imagine we're not gonna see a separate GTA Online. I have a feeling they're just going to upgrade GTA Online
that
to
would
be
be the
its own
move.
standalone.
You have the player base, so like
Yeah.
why would you introduce the Miami or the Vice City portion, and like immediately everyone loses access to their life in Los Santos.
Yeah, I feel they'll make GTA Online its own standalone, and it's just gonna have the new map included. That's basically what it's gonna be, so you can go between both.
Right. I can
Yeah,
see that, and hopefully they can work in Liberty City also, so you can just bounce between the three.
which would be super cool. I think that'd be the coolest part of online. I'd probably go back and
I
actually play it
probably
because
try it out. We can get rid of delay because we both saw it coming. Last
yeah.
of Us season two. I mean, I haven't watched it all. I only watched the first two episodes. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see him kill Joel. I wanted to see how close they did it to the game. They did it pretty close. There are people who were still mad that it wasn't close enough, but
I mean, I kinda saw season 2 not doing as good, mainly because they were gonna do things a little different, and it was bound to happen. Plus, we had still all the heat from the first season that everybody didn't like, what's her name playing,
playing Ellie.
yeah, I think I almost said Emma, I'm like, "It's not Emma." They didn't like her, as an actress, and it's like, "Guys, she did a pretty good job." Like, yeah, she doesn't look 100% like her, like, you good luck finding somebody who looks like exactly like her.
Well, and that's you're never. I mean, you shouldn't cast someone when you're doing an adaptation. Never cast for looks. Just be like, hey, this is like you're casting for energy. You're
Yeah,
casting for vibes, which the vibe like because the gap between one and two is like what 5 years,
yeah, something like that.
and then we've only had like a 3 year gap between the first season and the second season here, or a 2 year gap. I forget when the first season premiered,
It was 2 years.
2023. So I mean, not much growing for the actor, and I'm forgetting their name. It's blanking on me. Is that
But
is it Bella Ramsey? I think it's Bella Ramsey.
Bella Ramsey, yeah. And even then, like, not trying to, like, be political with it, but I think season 2 is a little more on what people would call the woke side
Oh god,
compared to
don't
season 1.
stop it. Just stop it.
You
Just
you know I'm right.
stop.
But you know I'm right.
Just stop it. You're sounding like
You
Kotaku in action, Josh.
I thought wanting to be, but you know I'm right.
That's what people are saying, but that's not what we're saying.
No, I'm like, it's like, guys, as far as close and as accurate as you can be to the game, yeah. Are they ever gonna be 100%? No, because you're gonna have people who wanna have their own adaptation of it, which is how we got, Game of Thrones final season.
I don't know what you're referencing. You're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. You're making no sense.
I'm making plenty of sense. Like, you're gonna have people who come in thinking they know better. They're gonna make some changes that you don't like. But I wasn't expecting to be good because you had one side of the coin saying, "Do we want it to be as accurate as possible?" And then you had the other side going, "Oh man, I kind of want to see what happens," and then getting a little disappointed
Well,
because you had people involved who may have little or no understanding of the original plot or the original.
you have a writer who I mean did okay with the first season, but you have a writer coming in who it sounds like he didn't really get what the second game was going for, didn't really understand what he was playing. And so I mean, the second game was messy. The second game has its issues. But when you bring that to TV, you don't have to bring the game's weaknesses with it. So there's just been some decisions where it's like, well, why did you? Well, and I'm not going to give anyone notes on how to write their thing. Like write your thing and then just live with the response. I think the world has gotten pretty ridiculous with like not being able to receive criticism. You have to be. It's hard to get stuff made, but you also like I don't know, when you're making stuff, you are open to criticism. That's the fucking games, you guys. Like that's the game you play. Get over it. Like if
Yeah,
I
I
make
mean,
like if this podcast is bad, like I gotta live with it. Like if you make a bad show, you make a bad game, you gotta fucking
but
live with
let's
it and take
but
take
let's
whatever people are saying. Now I'm not saying
uh,
like you have to take like people telling you like, oh, this is terrible KYS. No, no, not that. But when people are like engaging with your art and criticizing it and saying, well, this doesn't work for me because XYZ. That's fair. That's fair.
let's be honest. We're talking about the same guy who wrote probably one of the best episodes in a game adaptation with Nick Offerman. Like that episode from season 1 was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and it's the
Like
one
one of the best.
it's where the show starts to get away from the game, and that's
Yeah.
why like what I've seen, it doesn't seem like they've strayed too far from the game, and I'm like, well, just you guys should have made more opportunities for yourself to stray away. Like there's the whole chapter in there's that whole area in the second game about like the guy who turned against the town because they turned against his daughter. It's
Yeah,
like you're telling me you couldn't have done an episode about that guy?
that would have
Couldn't
been fucking good up. That would have been a great episode.
you couldn't have done an episode about that guy? And, you know what, if I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth, if they ended up doing an episode, great job.
Yeah.
Again, I've always seen the first 2 episodes, and I just was like, "Ah, I'll watch the other 5 when I find time." But I think we can, again, we can take this off because I knew this was gonna be a divisive season of TV.
Now, obviously, we don't have a third game. Do you think they'll go ahead and do a season 3 ahead of a
They're
game?
they're doing season 3 because they split up the game into season 2 and season 3.
Well, let me rephrase that. Season 4. Sorry, season 4.
They said they weren't gonna go down the Game of Thrones route. So the Game of Thrones guys didn't have the book, but they talked to George and got like the gist of what was gonna happen, and then those last 2 seasons happened the way they happened. And so I would say, yeah, if you don't have the source material, you're already struggling. How are you gonna write something without the source material?
So all I'm hearing is George went ahead and gave these guys the green light. He's like, "Yeah, that's what I was gonna do." They bombed it, and he's like, I promise I'm gonna go back and finish it."
George is too busy shitting on every other adaptation of his work right now to focus on Winds of Winter. I'm sorry.
Did you
So
see, by the way, real quick? Did you see that the Witcher writer was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not like George. I'm actually when I say I'm gonna write, I'm gonna write."
he's been a that the Witcher guy's always been a messy bitch.
He has, but I love it. I'm like, dude, stick it to George. George is an
he
asshole,
he
apparently.
he didn't like the games, and then I don't know how he feels about the TV show, but he's
I think
just
he said it was awful. I think he said the only good thing about the show they got rid of. I think it's exactly what he said.
oh Jesus. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know what? That's just the way that when you saying that, I'm not surprised at all. I'm like, yeah, that guy seems like he's been a pain in the ass the whole way through.
Yeah,
But you know what? When you're precious about your work, like I get it, and George is doing that too. But it's like, George, you have any new books, George? You got any new books, buddy? Come on, come on. I know people are like, leave George alone, but it's also like, dude, it's been 14 years, maybe even more. Wow, this has been a great conversation, Josh. I love this. I'm still waiting for you to connect Gran Turismo to esports gambling. It's only been 40 minutes. So for disappointment of the year so far, we still have 5 left. We've got Blueprints, the State of Games Media, State of DLCs, esports gambling, and Pokemon Scalpers. I think we can get rid of State of DLCs.
I agree. I think we can also get rid of Pokemon scalpers because honestly, that's been a thing for like a few years now.
So I agree with your sentiment that it's tough for DLC right now just because the marketing is not there. But I mean, if you look across everything right now, the marketing's just not happening anywhere. No one's
Yeah,
spending money on marketing. Anytime, like the fun writer story, like people are looking for writers that already have a following. It's kind of fucking nuts because in the past it was no, like I'm going to get a get an agent or get this, and then we're gonna use that network to get me on with somewhere over here, and we're gonna build my following that way. So it's funny these companies these companies are putting the following that responsibility onto the small guy. And
yeah.
just marketing across the board is just a mess right now. Social media has if social media has fucked up a lot of things. Social media has really fucked up how we market stuff. It's bad. It's bad out there. And then I agree on Pokemon scalpers. They've been scalping for a while. It's just gotten more egregious. It feels like I see more of those videos now on my feeds
I
than
think it's
any
because
time I've seen.
it's more relevant now as far as like we're starting like people are starting to talk about it more. Where back in the day, like yeah, it really wasn't talked about, but I don't think it was as like Pokemon wasn't as big. Or I mean, it was big. You know what I mean? Like scalping was a thing, but with Pokemon, it just got so outrageous and so ridiculous, and it came to the light, and everybody was like, "Oh, now we're gonna talk about it. Now we're gonna post these videos about it. Now we're gonna show it." And it's like, yeah, it's kind of fucking ridiculous. It's very and it shows in almost all the outlets now. Like I said with Clear Obscure, uh, it blew up as a game overnight, and all of a sudden, people are buying the physical copies of these games, and then marking it up for almost double. And it's like that's guys,
Yeah,
fucking ridiculous.
yeah, because yeah, card scalping's always kind of been a thing, but then it really took off during COVID when big streamers started opening packs, and that was the meta for a little bit. I think that meta stayed because I mean I've got friends that collect baseball cards, who watch these streamers who just that's what they do. They open a pack, like someone will buy a pack on the stream, and then they'll open it right there for the person who just bought it. Be like, hey, look at this card you just got. Look at this card you just got, man. Look at that. You only paid $200 for this pack, and this is a $500 card, man.
I will admit, probably some of the greatest AMSR videos I've ever had, though, have been card opening ones.
Oh, because you can hear the little plastic going.
Yep, and they'll just do it right then. It's just I don't know. It's I think it has that like it releases those endorphins that it sounds and feels good, but at the same time I'm like, oh, I know you fucking sat there for hours and you pushed some little kid, you murdered a mom for all of these cards, you sick son of a bitch, but it sounds so good.
All right, so we are whittled down to blueprints, the state of games media and esports gambling. I think we put games media first
Yep. Esports second, and then I think blueprints
and then
last.
blueprints last. I agree. It's a good order.
Man, look at that.
There's just like it's getting harder and harder to get that out there and report. And I was tough on the independent media folks who are out there. I know you guys want to bring new voices on. I mean, I'm coming from the point of view of being someone who works with students coming out into the career fields and not having those opportunities. So when you tell those young 18, when you tell those young like 22-year-olds like, hey, if you do this thing over here at this website that fired everybody, fuck you. It's just like that's a weird vibe, man. That's someone that's a peer in your career field who's looking for mentorship, and you're kind of just pulling up the ladder behind you and being like, "Hey, look, we'd love to have you on this ladder, but if you get on this ladder, it's going to break, but you better not touch that sturdier ladder over there or we'll fucking hate you." It's
Not only
really
that, but we're
weird.
also in a weird time of like AIs taking over a lot of things.
Yeah, like
So
wouldn't you want even though like it's is it gross that like they fired everyone who was union and now they want to bring in new people? Very fucking gross, very fucking disgusting. It is a disgusting practice. You should hate them for that. But you shouldn't hate the young kids coming out of school who don't know any better because there's no one there to fucking tell them. They're just looking for a job. Just
and
looking for a
struggling
job
at it.
and struggling. And now they've got these AI that like are not only do they have all these directions they could have gone are gone, and the people who they could look up to are over here telling them, sorry, can't have you, but don't go to the one place that you can go. But now they've also got AI competing to compete with, so it's like, wow, man, that's really fucking shitty to say to somebody who's just joining the career field who may know no better. Like, that's fucked up, dude. Sorry, there was a specific podcast that really, really went out of their way to like chastise folks that may be thinking that. And it was right around graduation, and it really pressed my buttons. And it was like, that fucking sucks. I don't think I've listened to them since then.
I said that sounds like a disgusting podcast. I'm surprised you're still listening to them.
I haven't listened to them in a while. Okay, so state of games. Okay, so let's do this. Disappointment of the year at third place. We got the blueprints, which people are going to be like, "You guys are crazy," but that's where we are. Second place is esports gambling, and first place is the state of games media. It's gross out there, folks. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies. Hey, we did it, Josh. We got through category.
It only took us almost an hour.
Well, we got on some soapboxes there. You tried to connect Gran Turismo
Oh my god, you're never gonna let that go. Just let it
to
go.
gambling.
Be an Elsa. Let it go.
No, well, the funny thing about Elsa letting it go, she wasn't really letting it go in that moment. She was still carrying a lot of that baggage. No, okay. I'm not going to get on a soapbox about Elsa singing Let It Go in the middle of the movie. It's kind of crazy. The back half of that movie, no music. I realized that when I was listening to the soundtrack with my kid. Like the last song of that movie is Fixer Upper. And that's like 30 minutes, 40 minutes before the end, and then no music. Nothing. I thought it was
I did
nuts. I
not
was
know
like
that.
listening and I was like, oh wow, that's it. Huh.
They
Wow,
blew the budget on the first half of the movie with all the songs.
they ran out of songs. They ran out of songs. All right, second category today is best non-game so far. This is a good palate cleanser before we get into the heavy hitters, right, Josh?
Oh yeah.
All right, so this could be anything. Anything we've watched, read, experienced, just are vibing. So best game, best non-game so far, here are the nominees. The Battle Beast comic, we've got the Walking Dead comic series, The Studio, which is the Apple TV show by Seth Rogen, and I'm forgetting his writing partner's name. Josh, if you could look that up for me, look and see who that's
Yep.
created by. I think there's 3 or 4 creators on that actually. Severance season 2, The Rehearsal season 2. My favorite Hollywood satire site, Hollywood Times with a dollar sign for the S. My pregnant Marcus Phoenix picture that I drew for my hard drive article of the same nature. Josh's baby. Hey, you did nominate her.
Yeah,
No, maybe that was me.
that was you.
Ragna Crimson, which I'm told is an anime. Konosuba, which
That's
I'm assume is an anime.
that's also another anime. Yes.
Sinners, which is a movie. Warfare, a Minecraft movie. Invincible season 3, the F1 movie, and 28 years later.
The studio, created by Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg, Peter Hyatt Huck,
Cool.
Alex Gregory, Frida Perez.
Okay. There's a lot of people on that one.
That's just created by starring. It has Seth Rogen, Catherine O'Hara, Ike
Barinholtz.
Baran, yep,
Barinholtz from Mad TV.
Barons, yep, Chase Sue Wonders, and Catherine Hahn.
It's a good
Good cast.
cast. It's a good show. You should go watch it. Josh, is there anything you want to add to this list?
I thought I can think of. This has been a weird, like, in between stuff year with the baby.
Yeah, I got you. You are sleep deprived. Just for that, I'm taking the baby off because she is costing you sleep.
Leave her on there.
It's
It's my baby. Leave her on there.
my baby. Let's see here. I'm gonna get rid of Hollywood Times. I just wanted to mention it. Hey, if you're listening to this and you haven't, go follow Hollywood Times over on Substack. It's a great Hollywood Substack satire letter. That's really, really taking Hollywood to task. Go check it out. Okay, I'm looking at the movies I have on here. So I have a few movies. I'm gonna whittle down these movies. F1 is okay. If you can see F1 in IMAX, go see it. The racing scenes are amazing. Just the way they shoot racing is great. Bruckheimer knows what the fuck he's doing when he's shooting action. Everything else, it's just middle of the road. Not to make a pun there, but the characters just aren't the most interesting. There's a love story that just feels forced, and then the only two characters that have charisma are Brad Pitt and oh shit, why am I blanking on his name? I just said his name earlier. Can you look up the cast on that movie for me, Josh?
For which one?
F1.
Okay, I was just pulling up.
Oh,
Brad Pitt,
good.
Damson Idris,
Not him.
Carrie Condon,
Keep going.
Tobias Menzies, Javier Bardem.
It's Javier. It's Javier Bardem. The chemistry between Javier Bardem and Brad Pitt is great. Otherwise, everything else I'm just like, it's okay. There's some funny moments. Otherwise, I'm just like, the action is great. Go see it in IMAX.
I'm reading the first sentence of the Wikipedia, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like a very generic movie.
It's fun. It's again the races are shot great. I really like the races.
I just want to say this: Brad Pitt as a race car driver who returns to Formula One after a 30-year absence to save his old teammates' underdog squad from collapse.
Yeah, that's very rough. Wikipedia
Very
needs to
generic.
Wikipedia needs to get someone in there to rewrite that because that sentence hurt me with you reading it.
Yeah, hold on. Who's the last person who edited? Oh, it doesn't say now. Shit.
Oh,
Last edited on June 29th at 5:01 UTC.
Yeah, messy. Very
messy.
They'll clean it up. Battle Beast, I'm okay with getting rid of. It's only 2 issues in. It's from the same team behind Invincible. It's based on a character from Invincible. It's really good. It's him just going out and looking for battles. He wants to find someone who will kill him and give him an honorary death. And it's a very bloody series so far, and I like it. But I'm sure there'll be more to say about it back in December if we have this category again. I finished the Walking Dead comic series. What was that, a few months ago or a few weeks ago actually. It's great. It's great. I think it's got some mediocre moments, especially early on in the prison. But the series at the center, like, is Rick and Carl, like that father-son dynamic. There's something this fucking Kirkman can write father son stuff, like good father son stuff, and that's really strong here. Uh, but it's not my favorite comic thing of all this year. That is going to go to Invincible season 3. So I'm okay with getting rid of Walking Dead comic series. I'll talk more of Invincible later. I want to kind of whittle down these movies a little bit. Have you seen any of these movies, Josh?
I have not. 28 Years Later is on my list to watch though,
Okay. So
and so is Sinners.
I think Sinners is a strong contender. Warfare can go. Warfare is the latest from Alex Garland. It's just a good ass war movie with some good ass sound design, and I mean, it's not. It doesn't have your basic movie structure because it kind of just ends. But I don't want to call it a fun movie. It's like a very stressful movie. It's a scary. It's like it's not. It doesn't present itself as a scary movie, but it's a scary movie. The way that it's done. But I'm okay with taking it off. Uh, Minecraft movie I can also take off. It's a meme, dude. It's a meme. That's why it's so popular. I wish Hollywood would stop trying to learn something from movies that are memes. Like they did it with like the Gentle Minions back 2 years ago,
Mhm.
Barbenheimer. Like I wish they would stop trying to learn things from memes and just like realize like, oh, these are just memes. They're happening. Like I want them to stop chasing memes. Like everyone
They'll never stop.
like please blog writers, please stop writing your chicken jockey think pieces. We don't need them. Like the way the block office, fuck you Minecraft, the way the box office is reported on is just the most obnoxious thing. Like Sinners, like the deal Ryan Coogler had with the WB was criticized, was gonna the end of Hollywood as we know it. It's just ridiculous. And then the way that F1 was being reported on, where folks were worried about the money, and it's like it's about to make 100, and everyone else is like it's about to make, like the articles that were written weren't even considering like the overseas like churn or the bring in of the money coming in from overseas, and it's just like it's all doom and like oh it's the end of it's like shut the fuck up, just shut the fuck up and watch report on the movie, stop talking about the box office, fuck you.
Did you make up the block office, or is that one of Minecraft's like
That was that was a
joke? Like
that was a slip. That was a slip. A
that was. I mean, it was clever though. I was like, damn it! I don't know if he made that up on his own or if he heard it somewhere.
No, it was an accident. Uh, 28 years later is just really good movie about male loneliness. Yeah, just a really good movie about male loneliness and like the coming of age with loneliness. You should go see it. It's really good.
It's on my list to see.
And then Sinners is just also really good about identity and like assimilation. So we can keep that for now. Invincible season 3, they did the conquest fight. They fucking did it. That's a big fight in the comic series, and
Such a
they
great fight.
did it, and it's an amazing. But you've seen it. You're all caught up, right?
I'm all caught up now. Yeah, it's really good.
And they did it justice, and it was really good. And I think the season overall was really good.
Although I still question how they're gonna do the one scene.
Oh, we've got like
I
three
know we've
seasons before they get
I
to
know we've
that.
got a while before, but I'm curious. Like, do they do it or do they skip over it?
I think they do it. They've. I think what they're doing is they see what the boys are and I think Kirkman has mentioned this in interviews. Like they see what the boys are doing, and they're like, "Oh, okay, we're fine to do this thing over here."
Yeah,
So they'll
it's one of those because it's like that is probably one of the most triggering things that happens in the whole entire series.
well, and see the boys kind of touched on something similar, but they played it for laughs. So I think if
Yeah.
Invincible does it and they do it without trying to play up laughs for it, I think it'll be received well.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm thinking of other, and we're being vague here because we don't want to upset anybody, but like Game of Thrones had something similar happen, and like that was like you felt like that was like the number of think pieces on the internet. They were like, I will never watch Game of Thrones ever again. TV's dead to me. Uh, but no, I think season 3 was their best season. Their best season, right?
Oh yeah. By far their best season. Um, yeah, really good. Honestly, if you haven't watched any of it yet, highly recommend it. Really good.
Great show, amazing,
Still
really
think
good comedy.
second season had a better soundtrack though.
Yeah, yeah. I think the first season had a really good one. They had that Cage the
That's
Elephant
true
song that I
too.
really
Yeah.
liked. Just some good needle drops. We can take Severance season 2 off. I think it was good. I don't know. I'm
I
not
think
I'm
it I
I'm
don't
not
think it got as much love as season 1. I feel like people are like, "It was okay, it just wasn't the same." I'm like, I haven't seen any of it, to be honest, but just getting the vibe, I'm like, it sounds like people are very torn about season 2.
the thing that bums me out about season 2, and I'm not a contrarian. I'm not one of those people who's like, "Oh, this is popular." I fucking hate it. But I would see the post about people having watch parties and they're like dressing up as the characters and like doing all this stuff. It's like this is this is bleak, man. These why do you want to dress up as like these Jesus. Like you're just dressing up like an office dork. Like it's kind of getting like just like this office fandom normie type thing. It's like, "Oh, you're wearing the band-aid on your head like Adam Scott." I don't know. It's one of those series that like I don't know, man. I don't think you should. It's just like people wanting to dress up like people from uh oh, what's the game show? Squid Game. It's like I want to dress up like the
Yeah.
Squid Game people. It's like, no, you fucking don't. Stop it.
I'm like, "Why are you glorifying it? That you're missing the whole point."
Just can you I just want people to watch it and be normal. Just watch something like and you can enjoy things, have fun. But just watch it and be normal, man. Don't dress up like the character who's like basically a fucking zombie half the day. Like, come on. I'm okay getting rid of it. If I had to keep one TV show between the studio and the rehearsal, I think I want to keep the rehearsal. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
They do plane shit. He flies a plane. Nathan Fielder flies a plane. Like he gets his
Okay,
pilot license and he flies a big commercial jet.
it's on my list.
Studio is fine. I think the studio is just too inside. Like it's one of those shows that Hollywood's gonna circle jerk itself over about it being so good. Like I've already seen people in my Blue Sky timeline like saying they're specking episodes. It's like, no, stop it. Like they're going to do, like I think if you can do an episode, I think if you can do an episode about someone writing a spec about the show, I think if you can
That'd be
do it,
great.
if you can do make it really meta, I think it'll work. But yeah, some of these people I've seen, I'm like, I'm not reading that one. I'm not reading it. I'm sorry, no.
Probably
I have
best
one
not to,
friend
right?
that told me, and I was like, I'll read his. His stuff's usually pretty good, but otherwise, I'm like, nope, not reading it. But I'm okay with keeping the rehearsal. Pregnant Marcus Phoenix was my baby. You have your baby on here. I basically have my baby. I want to keep it for now. Walk me through these two animes. Do they stay?
Okay, so Ragnar Crimson, no, but I will go and give it its due diligence. Uh, Basically, it's this character. His name's Ragnar. He's an old man. He's like, basically, the world has been destroyed by dragons, and he's like the super. He's turned himself into like this super being who's able to kill them. And he's like, "Well, fuck, I've killed everything now. There's no point in living. I've lost everything that meant something to me." So he's able to go back in time mentally to his past self. And it's basically, what if I made an overpowerful character at the beginning of it?
You had me at the world being destroyed by dragons.
Yes. Give it a go. I mean, I'm not saying it's like top notch. It was came out 2 years ago or last year. Um, it's due for a second season at some point, but they're waiting for the manga to catch up because it's not too far ahead of it. Really good. Um, just
But get rid of it is what you're saying.
but get rid of it. And then honestly, uh, Konosuba, I would love to keep on here, but I know we've got a ton of other good things on here. Konosuba is a great anime series, Nick. Basically, you've probably heard us talk about all these animes where people are killed and then reincarnated into new worlds.
No,
No,
no.
uh, that's the trope. It's called the isekai. Basically, someone dies, they're reborn into a new world, or they get trapped in a different world.
Okay.
Uh, the difference is those ones are usually a little more on a serious note. This one intentionally is comedy.
Okay.
You've got this like 15, 16-year-old boy. He's literally like an introvert. He stays home all the time, leaves one day to go pick up a new game, dies. he's basically picked up by the this goddess named Aqua, and she's like, "Well, hey, that was like an accident kind of thing, but we're gonna revive you into this new world. And we're gonna give you whatever you want." And she's kind of like a bitch to him.
This is that Chris Rock movie where they kill him on accident, where Eugene Levy is an alien, an angel. Well, what's the difference, right? He's an angel, and he accidentally takes Chris Rock before the taxi hits him. So
Basically,
they put him in the body of an old rich white guy.
well, kind of, sort of, but yeah, and the one is just that. But basically, the whole time he's like, she's trying to decide what animal wants to take, and she's being a real bitch to him. And he goes, "Well, fuck, then I'm gonna pick you. You're the thing I bring." And she's like, "You can't do that." And they're like, another goss comes in. "Oh, you know, he can do that. We're gonna go and let that happen." And it's him. He basically has to defeat the demon king of this world, and it's basically him just trying to come to copes with him being. That's the only way for him to get back to his old world is he has to do this, and he's like, "I'm not gonna do that." And he gets like because he's from a different world, he has these get rich quick schemes, and he's your typical like anime pervert. He steals girls' underwear, not on like purpose. Like he learns his luck is like his best stat, so he learns how to steal, and every time he uses steal, he steals women's underwear.
Of course he does.
Or he
Anime
still it's
Anime's not beating the
yeah,
rap. They're not
yeah.
beating the rap they've gotten for
But
themselves.
but with this, it's like they're purposely making fun of it because it's like that's like the trope. Everybody's like, "Oh, we're gonna do this really cheeky thing." He's like, "No, we're just gonna basically just like, yeah, no, he steals your underwear." Or no, he does this stuff, and he's just he's your generally generalized creep, but he's also the hero of the story. It's really great. 3 seasons and a movie. Nick, you have to watch it. I think you would enjoy it.
I will give it a try, but are we taking it off?
Yeah, take it off. So my baby's number 1 to me.
I'm gonna take off Pregnant Marcus Phoenix because it was a fun project. It's hanging up behind me, right above my head.
I see him. I
Look
see
at him
him.
right there, all pregnant, waiting.
Dom, it's yours.
It's yours, Dom. It's yours. So what we have left for best non-game so far: The Rehearsal season 2, Josh's Baby, Sinners, Invincible season 3, and 28 Years Later. I think between Sinners and 28 Years Later, I would watch Sinners. Sinners is a lot of fun. 28 Years Later is one of those movies where like it's tiring, it's exhausting because it's
Yeah.
completely different from what you expect going in, but it's still a good movie. It's just different.
I mean, it's been such a long time. I'd have to go back and watch. Like I remember I watched 28 Days Later. I pretty much remember it for the most part. It's 28 months later that I'm like, it's been a hot minute. I'd have to
No,
go
there's
back and
no months.
actually
It's
rewatch it.
weeks. It's weeks.
Is it weeks?
Yeah,
Why did I say months?
just
Oh, it's
because
because they skipped it.
they skip months. Yeah, I'm gonna take years off, and I think years even makes weeks. Like weeks is not canon anymore
Really?
because weeks wasn't made by these guys. Weeks was made by somebody else. So
Mm.
then we're down to Rehearsal season 2, Josh's Baby, Sinners, and Invincible season 3.
I think we're both gonna say Invisible season 3 is pretty fucking good.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna take off Sinners. I will succeed to your child. I will step down and take the rehearsal off for your child
You know
because
you love your niece.
I do love my niece. She is a sweet baby girl. I held her one time. I would like to hold her again. We'll put her up top. Don't let this go to her head. If I hear that she's bragging about this on the streets,
She's gonna I'm gonna go up there and she's gonna be like, "Give me Gaga.
I'm give me Gaga. I need to tell
Give me
Gaga about this.
Gaga."
I need to tell Gaga. I think this is the order. I think Josh's Baby, Sinners, Invincible 3, season 3 is the order.
Been a busy but great year, not just for gaming.
Not just for gaming. There's babies. There's stuff.
Babies and media.
Best non-game so far. Third place, Invincible season 3. Go check it out. It's a banger. Sinners, again, go check it out. It's a fucking banger. And then number 1, Josh's sweet little baby girl. Just want to pinch her cheeks.
Dude, it's crazy to think she's gonna be 4 in 2 weeks or 4 months. I'm
I was
okay.
about to say, you have a 4-year-old? God damn.
Dude, my mind is fried. It's 12:19.
It's
We need to
12:19.
go to bed.
Let's wrap this up so we can get ready to do day 3. I'm kidding. We're not doing day 3 tonight. So we did 2 categories today. We started with Disappointment of the Year. In third place, we had Blueprints. In second place, we had Esports Gambling. And taking the crown in that one was the State of Games Media. It's a mess out there. In Best Non-Game so far, that's right, we did a non-game category. It was fun. We had, in third place, Invincible Season 3. In second place, Sinners. In first place, Josh's sweet little baby girl. tomorrow, Wednesday, we have 2 more categories for you. We have the I owe you an apology. I wasn't really familiar with your game award, which is us paying respects to games that we maybe didn't play when they came out, but now we've checked out and we're like, oh shit, you were great. We're sorry. And then we've also got Song of the Year. So get those ears ready. And then Thursday, Game of the Year, Friday, and Game of the Decade. So it's anyone's ball game at this point, right, Josh?
Just about, yeah.
How we feeling after day 2?
Exhausted.
Exhausted. All right, we got more debating to do. We got more stuff to put on some list.
But
Everyone,
we
we
need
will
some rest.
we need some rest. We will see you back here tomorrow. That's right, Wednesday. We're not taking a week off. This is happening Wednesday. Come back tomorrow, 6 a.m. We'll be back here with 2 more categories for you. Everyone, this has been Smashing Game Time. We hope you had a smashing great time. We'll see each and every one of you next time.